fellow Earth scientists. Today I'd like to talk to you about your critical thinking exercise. And you can find your critical thinking exercise is in your Blackboard section under the content folder. And there you will see it says submit your 9 questions here. And you need to download the 9 questions and the rubric, which lets you know what it's going to be rated over. You're going to read the instructions in the Word doc. You just left click it and download it. And then make your answers in bold. Save it like the instructions suggest, and instructions. You've got to submit that as a Word doc or a PDF because Blackboard doesn't recognize Google Docs. If you do use Google Docs, you can just save and export it out as a Word document or a PDF, so that makes it simple. So you download the 9 questions, and then you can enable everything, and you have the instructions. So it's a Word document. All you've got to do is fill it in. Use as much room as required to answer the questions. You're going to need a good solid paragraph. When you're done, save the file with your first initial, last name, 100, your section number CTE, your section number 001. And then it gives you an example. And then you want to select a controversial earth science topic, one of your choice. Pick whatever you like. You want to frame it as a yes-no question. And I've got some examples, and you can use these if you like or not. Should we fund ocean exploration? And remember, that's one of our topics. Will the polar vortex result in climate change? Will polar wandering affect the U.S. In the Midwest, affect us in the Midwest? Will climate change affect corn production in Indiana in the next 10 years? Should people be allowed to build homes in hurricane or flood-prone areas? Should there be significant money spent on tsunami warnings in the Pacific coastal community? So each of these are yes or no questions, and you're going to both sides of these. You've got to put on the hat. And as my mom would say, walk a mile in the other person's shoes, the old Indian saying, where it's yes or no, and you're going to take both sides of the story. You're going to use scientific facts to kind of argue for and against both. This is not about politics. I don't want to hear any, about political slants here. It's just based on scientific facts. And you need 2 scientific papers that they could be from Nature or from sciencemag.org. And I'm going to go to the Shake Library. I'm going to hold down my Control key and left click, and then go to the library. And I will click the yellow, and it should take me into the library. Once I get in the library, you see databases A through Z, and they have several. I'm going to go straight to the science database, or you can sort it by science, and it'll show you Salem Press, Science.gov, Smithsonian, and then there's a Science Reference Center. I'll go ahead and go to the Science Reference Center. And then here, you can just click Earth Sciences. And then I'm going to type in ocean exploration. That's the type I'm going to pick. And it should come up with several articles. So here it tells you that in Science Scope, engage your students in ocean exploration science, or deep ocean exploration using remote operated vehicle at gas hydrate site in the Bay of Bengal. And when you get to these, or Our Blue Planet, and that's in technology and children, you can just click for a full PDF. Then you want to find a couple articles that have data based on your topic. And then it should come up with the full text. And so you can read the paper and see if it's a paper you'd like to use and get some data. That's how you're going to get some resources. You're going to use APA format, so you'll cite your reference in the body of the text, and then you'll get 2 references at the end. So I'm going to hold down my Control and then left click to go to the Purdue Writing Lab, and here you can put in the citation, a journal or article, it's got a calculator, it'll give you the correct format. It gives you all the styling information that you need, an example paper in there. We're not doing a full-blown paper, you just need to have the individual citation to match. And so you can use this writing lab, it's super useful. So it'll show you the format of the endnotes. So this would be a footnote. You're just going to have a quick reference list, and this gives the basic rules of that. So how to cite it. So you'll put the author's name and the year in the text. Jones, 1998. So that's pretty straightforward. And there's a sample paper. Gives you a style guide. And basically, this is what you're looking for right here. At the end, you'll put your author, the year, and where you got the citation. So all the resources you need in there to just get 2 scientific papers and use the data. I'm looking for you to use some data. So you're going to answer 9 questions once you've decided what your topic is. And so let's say our topic, should we fund ocean exploration? So you're going to explain the topic, you're going to give your viewpoint, explain why there's a conflict, you know, invasive, on the species in the ocean, the cost is great for, to go into the ocean, the equipment specialized. You're going to describe the different parties, the stakeholders, who's got a dog in the hunt. That would be like for ocean exploration, taxpayers, the government, the wildlife. What's your viewpoint on the issue? So write out your viewpoint in a solid paragraph, just facts here, nothing to do with politics. And what factual database information supports your viewpoint. Then I want you to describe an opposing viewpoint. And I want you to not argue this down as if your viewpoint is right, but I want you to genuinely consider someone else's viewpoint, and why it would be different. So maybe, you're an indigenous people living up in Alaska, and you don't think that they should do ocean exploration up there because of your religious beliefs. So, and then number 6, how do the different contexts, the culture, social, your background. I'm from the country, so how does your background influence your viewpoint? Number 7, if your viewpoint was carried out, if you said no, we're not going to explore at all, then what would happen? And what would be the consequences, good or bad? And what role does personal and societal responsibility play in the scenario? And then how does your personal liberty versus legitimate authority, like experts, law, religion, affect the decision to act or not? And then you're going to cite cases. And I said to put your answers in bold. And what I would do is I would go down and I would unbold the text, my questions, and then put your answers in bold. And then that'll help me kind of see your responses and let it stand out. And then you'll save that, you'll go back, and then you will just submit those. You'll click the red, and then you'll browse your computer, and I'm going to be checking for plagiarism on that with the Safe Assign, and then you'll just browse your computer, grab your answers, and then you'll hit submit. hopefully that helps explain your critical thinking exercise. You just want to, explore a scientific topic and look at both sides of it. The critical thinking is not due until August 3rd. It'll be due that Monday, those 9 questions. So you've got a good solid couple weeks here in order to complete that. And I'm going to repeat, you need 503 points to get an A, 378 points to get a C. Take a look at the syllabus, points breakdown. So your quizzes are worth 240 points, your midterm 100, your lecture final will be worth 150. It'll be 100 multiple choice, just like your midterm, and then your critical thinking is worth 50. So let's go ahead and post up the points distribution for you. And if you've got any questions about the critical thinking, just drop me an email. Let me know a time we can come into the office hour. So we are not going to meet today and collaborate. I've got some other things that I need to get done. I'm sure you guys are all having a busy summer as well. So your quiz, your RQ11 is due Thursday, and then you only have one more quiz next week. And I did a session on weather and climate. I'll probably record another one for you, but it looks like everybody's been doing really well. In lab, I'm getting caught up on the grading of the lab, so please get all those submitted ASAP. And if you've got any questions, just email me. Thank you.